Hi, everyone. So I'm talking today instead of Amanda, but she's here. So good. So I'm going to start sharing my screen and then we'll chat from there. So as we've been talking the last couple days about, hold on, oh, I did this wrong already. Give me another chance.
I've never done something like that.
Right. So as we've been talking the last couple of days about, what makes PAC different, we thought we would end the week with talking about our Care Partner Support Series, because it's a little different than traditional care support or support groups, right? So, so my colleagues here, how do we normally conduct support groups?
Well, we all sit in a circle and we talk about our problems and we get advice from other people in that group.
Right. So we get advice from them and sit in the circle kind of thing. So who has the information and the answers?
Usually it's the
leader,
whoever is the leader or conductor, or whether.
Yeah, the person in charge of the group, right? Okay, cool. How long are these groups, or how long do the sessions last?
They're usually like an hour.
Yeah, and
meet once a week or something.
Yeah, usually once a week. Do they go on forever, or do they have a time period?
No, they're usually, they kind of go on for a while. Some of them I've seen and you kind of then fade away when you no longer need that support.
Right.
I was also going to say, I think some people stick around even after they don't really, need the support.
Right. So like they came to dementia support and their person is no longer there or has passed away and they keep on staying. Yeah. So yeah, it keeps on going on forever and ever, maybe whether they need it or not. Are specific topics discussed?
Usually emotional state of the people attending the group, and then frustration is often the biggest topic that's discussed.
Right. So how the care partner is feeling, right? And their life experience and whatever's happening right now, right?
and it's usually always about what isn't working.
What isn't working, yeah, what's going wrong with the family, okay? And so what kind of help is provided?
I would say some emotional support. There's that kindred spirit kind of feel like I've been through this, you'll get through this too, that sort of emotional sort of partnering, I guess. Right.
And maybe like I've been through this so you can get through this kind of thing. Right, that's what I've seen in my groups in the past. So now I want to talk about how we do it a little differently. Okay, so for those of you who've been on here the last couple of days, this should look a little familiar, right? We've got our adult experiential learning cycle for trainers, and then yesterday we talked about the consultant cycle. So what's different with our sessions is that the people who run these sessions are consultants and trainers who've been through both of those programs before starting the program. So I thought what I would do with you all, if you're willing to do this with me, is let's try a segment, okay? So our segments our sessions are 5 weeks long, an hour and a half each time. And how we run them is we use TIPA clips, and then we talk about them. So I want to run this clip, and then we'll have a little discussion afterwards.
You guys are the tip of the iceberg of what's going on related to dementia here in this area, in this region. And unfortunately, way too many people are not even here. They don't even know that there is this. They don't even realize they could go and get support, and they think they have to try to do it all by themselves. And they are doing it all by themselves, and all we're going to end up with is another person with dementia. Why? Because one of the high-risk behaviors of getting dementia is being stressed a lot and not knowing how to take care of your stress, not sleeping well, not eating well, not exercising well, not taking care of yourself. Increases your very own risk of getting hypertension, diabetes, and depression, and most importantly, dementia.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there. And let's go through.
That was getting interesting though, Shelly. Why'd you?
I know. Well, because I wanted to ask you, what was your reaction to Tifa's assertion about your risk of dementia increasing if you're unable to manage your own stress?
That was really scary.
It's scary, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of those floating ideas that, yeah, I know, but there's always a but, and this kind of just took away that offering.
Yeah. Okay, so Beth, you were saying that you were scared. Why?
Well, because I know what my time as a caregiver is doing to me. And by hearing somebody else say that, I can't ignore that anymore.
Yeah, okay, you can't ignore it. Okay. Anyone else? Carrie, were you going to say something?
No, just feeling like this is contagious, or, like, what do you mean I can get dementia too?
Right. Okay. Yeah. Contagious. And what do you mean? Okay. Yeah. So what do you think that tells you about your specific situation, or have you ever seen other care partners in this situation and you've known? What does that tell you about
Yeah,
it?
so I think for me, it brought up that idea of, if I don't put on my oxygen mask and take care of myself a little bit, how am I ever supposed to give some pretty good care, decent care to someone else?
Right. Yeah, so the oxygen mask analogy is a great one. Cool. All right, guys. Go ahead, Amanda. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think it's really easy to turn the focus on the person that I'm trying to help, that so often, and you just don't do anything for yourself because you're being selfless. But there comes a point when, if you don't turn it around on yourself, then you can't continue to provide care. So you're harming everyone, even though you're trying to be selfless and help.
Right.
It's really tough.
Yeah. So it's starting to focus a little bit more on you and what you're doing in this relationship. Okay, cool. So how did that feel, guys? That's one segment how a care partner support series works.
Oh, so these are little bits of knowledge where my guess is where you're going next is, okay, so given we have this stressful situation, given I have all this work to do, and I don't have a choice but to do it, what are some things I might be able to do?
Right.
Huh.
Right. Yeah, so actually in this week, so we do it in 5 weeks, and in this week we actually then go into vision loss and auditory loss of the person, and then we basically start looking at how do we as care partners provide that support using PAC skills.
And thus decreasing my stress, because I've got some skills. Oh!
Tie it all together. Cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool way to bring in that consulting skill, which is the problem solving, but in a training format that PAC uses, where it's experience based. I'm bringing my own history, but Alejandro's bringing a different history, and Beth has her own. Right. And yet it doesn't allow us to spiral in that negative spiral that often happens in support groups. It's much more uplifting because there's something I can try.
Right, and everybody has to go home at the end of the evening with one thing they're going to try next week. And we touch base back on that. How did that change your relationship? And then we move on from there. So that's the experience. So I wanted to share the screen one more time to just kind of remind people about the rest of stuff that we have here. Hold on, let me get to that next screen. So again, come and connect with us. If you guys are interested in maybe trying a care partner support series, we have 2 new ones starting in June, one on June 1st and one on June 2nd. And if you think you'd like to maybe try to be a co-leader in this group, we have an advanced care partners, advanced certification program. You have to be both a trainer and a consultant, but that one's coming up too. And you can find all of that on the website. So any last minute points from people? All
No,
right.
this is really exciting. Thanks, Shelly, for sharing that little taste of what you guys provide. It's really awesome.
Okay, thanks, and have a happy Memorial Day weekend. So we're not going to be here Monday, right? Or are we? No, we're right. Okay. But next week, we've got some cool stuff with some new people leading. So thanks for joining us today. Bye, guys.
Guys.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to help us spread TEEPS's positive approach message around the world. And don't forget to click the bell to get notified when new videos are posted.